question is, do I believe there will be no illegal abortion? I don't believe there will be no illegal abortion.
I mean, what do you, I'm trying to figure out how to make this a question. Did you know that I think that there will be more illegal abortions and that women's health care will suddenly go down the tube and people will be going back to the alleys with, coat hangers and all these things, and women's health care will really be bad if we don't give women a chance to decide on their own. And I know, did you know that you said 6 weeks is enough time for women to know that they're pregnant? Did you know, I don't think that that's enough time, because did you know when I was pregnant, which 1,000 years ago, my daughter's 46, and I'm very proud of that. A lot of people think, why do you keep telling people your age, but I'm proud of it. But you couldn't tell I was pregnant until I was like 7 months pregnant. And, but I had tried to get pregnant for so long, I didn't know I was pregnant when I was 6 months pregnant, much less 6 weeks. So I don't know how you expect somebody, especially a 16-year-old or a 17-year-old that, had a bad relationship with a guy on one night stand. I don't think that they can know that they're pregnant at 6 weeks when a baby is just the size. I'm calling it a baby. I'm not calling it a raspberry. I was just illustrating the size of how big a baby is. But someone who's not experienced in that, they're not going to know. They think they have an upset stomach. And did you know, I know that this is going to sound like a crazy story, but I used to manage an office with I was the manager of 14 women. And this girl swears to me she didn't know she was pregnant. She went home from lunch one day, and she said she drank too much tea at Lizard City. And she called me that afternoon, and she said, Mrs. Trina, I'm not coming back. I said, why aren't you coming back? She said, well, I'm over at Lexington Medical Center. I just had a baby. Now, she'd been telling me she didn't have boyfriends, but I did ask her, if that was an immaculate conception or something on the name of Jesus. People just don't always know. So I think that 6 weeks is too short a time, and I just want to reiterate that again, that I think 12 weeks is a more reasonable time. I'm not saying 22 weeks is the right amount of time. And, 0.0009% of abortions are performed after 22 weeks. It's some very, really small number of abortions performed.
Well, first of all, Senator, thank you for your comment. And I'm sorry.
Did you know, I think illegal abortion will resume after, if we change this law.
Well, I was going to say, first of all, thank you for that point. I'm under no disillusion that making this law, or this bill become law, will stop abortion. In 1971, my biological mother had mechanisms to try to find a back alley abortion. Legislation doesn't change hearts. Bills don't change hearts. And they don't even necessarily change behaviors. War on drugs, prohibition, you go on and on. The behaviors aren't changed, and mindsets, patterns aren't changed just by law. But there are also times when laws can be a mechanism to help direct someone's behaviors. At 14, she was able to say at 14, had abortion been a legal, easy, endorsed option, it would have been probably a very different decision. But she was scared at 14 to go get a back alley abortion. She was already in trouble. Her boyfriend left, her parents essentially disowned her. She was alone. So the thought of then breaking the law and having a back alley abortion is the reason I'm here today.
But Senator, I think her heart was in the right place, and that was a decision she made, just like my parents made the right decision. I think morality is what's going to make people make the right decisions. And did you know, I think that us putting a law out there that says you have to decide in 6 weeks, or you have to decide in, it's conception, or you have to decide, I think you put pressure on people then they might have an abortion in 6 weeks, where if you gave them extra time, they might think about it and decide, you know, I really do want this thing. This is what, you know, God intended for me. So that's my take on it.
And I really do appreciate what you do in terms of espousing support for the foster care system, for the adoption system. As we talk about this, I will stand with you, I'll continue to stand with you on initiatives to make the foster care system better, the adoption system better. I was in foster care, and I was adopted, we was adopted. I'm with you on that. And again, I am in no solutions that back alley illegal abortions won't happen. But does that mean we stand back and do nothing and continue to see us become a destination location for over 1,000 abortions? Those are 1,000 Mike Ricken laws. Now, I'm not one of them, and I am fallible. You can ask my wife for 27 years. I'm 17. But I would agree with that. You know, I'm here because the decision was made. And how many thousands Mike Ricken laws and others are we losing because someone like my 14-year-old mom said, you know what, if this was a legal option, it's a lot more convenient than carrying this baby to term and dropping it out of school. Then it should stop everything, but should that be an opportunity for me and those who are being snuffed out? Still be here. I appreciate it.
You know, I think the 12 weeks will keep us from doing this state, and I'll sit down.
Thank you, Senator.
Mr. President,
Senator Collins, first you guys.
can I ask the senator a question?
Senator Gibbs for a question.
He would.
Senator, you know, I knew about your story from when you were running, and I supported you from behind the scenes, and so I knew about it. And I appreciate you telling us about it and coming forward with it. But before you came to the Senate, I told my story. And part of my story was going on this 6-week plan. At 6 weeks, I did not know. I still do not know. And you know why? Number one, I'm one of those females, and it's hereditary, and there are a lot of women like me who don't necessarily have a cycle every month. And they don't have the same indicators because of my metabolic rate. And so that's why do you understand that not every woman knows within 6 weeks? And do you understand that what this amendment does is it gives her 12 weeks, because there is a great majority of women who only have 6 menses a year. This 12-week amendment still would give the woman the chance to know. That's very important. I had 4 pregnancies, and each time PIVA penalized me because I didn't advise them within the 6 weeks time frame that they had. Back in the day, I was pregnant at 85, 93, 94, and 2001. None of them did you know was I ever diagnosed, had any inkling, any change to my body where I would have known. And the story I told to the Senate, I'm not sure if you know about it, was the same time I figured out with my first pregnancy was the same week I received my acceptance letter to law school. And I made a choice. And because I had a choice, it gave me responsibility and determination to be a single mother and a good single mother. So my point is, we have to, and I respect you, hear a lot about your pretty wife, but we have to find a way to protect women. We've got 2 balancing issues. We've got to protect women and the children. I've been protecting women all my life, and I've been protecting children and fostering children. We've got to find a way to save children once they're born, and we've got to find a way to give women options. I know you, Senator, from our interaction, I know you don't believe that there are women out there that are so callous that they would use abortion clerk to go do.
What I can speak to, Senator, first of all, thank you. I did not know your total story, and I'm glad you went to law school, and I've been an honor to work with you, and I mean that, because you've been very, very kind to me as number 46.
Well,
What I have found is that I'll receive emails from constituents that have said 6 weeks isn't enough. Some will say 12 weeks isn't enough. Some will say 20 weeks is not enough. I'm no doctor, and I've learned to stay in my lane, so I don't debate the number of weeks. There's nothing special between 6 or 7 or 5 or 10 or 11 or 12 that I know of, because again, I'm no doctor. What I know is that when we talk about the competing needs and the competing concerns, balancing the life of the mother, the needs of the mother, the needs of the born, there is also that unborn that if not born, they have no opportunity. So I do hear you, and we'll disagree on this amendment, we'll disagree on this bill, and I would never profess to be a doctor and speak to, if the heartbeat is detectable around 6 weeks, why did you not know you were pregnant? I couldn't speak to that. That's why this is such an emotional and visceral issue, and I respect your position and every person's position in here. I simply wanted to put a face to the fact that that unborn egg, seed, berry, whatever you want to call it, does have potential as well. Could we consider that in the conversation? You're not going to change your vote, I presume. And I'm glad you made the decisions you did in law school and your children. But if we, in my opinion, don't consider that unborn child, we are going to lose a tremendous amount of opportunity that has been wasted because we snuffed them out beforehand.
Senator, aren't we considering by the 12-week, you understand, it's a compromise of what the senator was referring to, and she is considering those unborn children?
Well, and again, that's where we would disagree. I really do hear you at 12. We would disagree on it, but I do appreciate you. I hear you.
I appreciate it, thank you.
Senator, we recognize you have a senator from Kershaw, Christie Raz.
Will the senator yield for friendly question?
Senator Gilbert.
Friendly, unfriendly, I have raised my hand to be a senator.
Me too. Did you know that I want to thank you for standing up and talking about the game? Because, I'm focused on the bill itself, I'm focused on, the dynamics of it, the legality of it, and you did put a face on it, and you made did you know, you may not know, but did you know what a strong argument you made for life, right then and there? And by what you said, I think there will be women who will not consider abortion. I think they will consider having a baby and unwanted pregnancy. You made an excellent argument for that, did you know? And did you know that, of course, I don't think there's a member in this body who does not respect you like you. Did you know, of course, I feel the same way. And I'm thrilled that you are here. I'm happy you're here. And I'm so happy that your biological mother could have you. And I don't have any buts. I can talk about some things, but that's it. That's all I want to say. It's just a thank you for sharing your story, your point of view, and speaking for David.
Senator from Charles, Senator Slayton, Christie Raz.
The kind of gentleman would be willing to deliver just one additional question.
Senator Gilbert, question.
Thank you. I appreciate what you said. You said that you were not under the impression that legislation is going to basically control the woman's decision as to whether they have a legal abortion or not. That that's going to come down to the woman's morals and things of that nature. If I understood that correctly. But that means that you acknowledge that likely illegal abortions will resume, just like they happened in the 50s and stuff. And I'm wondering, will you not be concerned then about how many women die due to illegal abortions?
Yes, I will be concerned about that. Question? Okay, thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. President.
Mr. President.
Senator, you have a question for the Senate?
What is unanimous consent request?
Since your Senator from Charleston,
The Senator from Florence's remarks up to the point in which he asked questions to be recorded in the journal.
is there objection? Here, no objection. So Senator, before I come to Senator Richard, Senator from Pickens, what purpose do you ask?
Another unanimous consent request.
State your request.
That the words from the Senator from Anderson be recorded in the journal.
Without objection, so Senator from Richmond, Senator McLeod, what purpose do you ask? Recognize on the amendment. Senator from Charleston, Senator Samuel.
Unanimous consent request. That the full statement of the senator from Florence be placed in the journal, including the questions and answers.
Without objection. Senator from Edgewood, before the senator is recognized.
Mr. President, as the Senator from Richland is making her way to the podium, I move pursuant to Rule 15A that the debate be brought to a close. There be up to an additional 30 minutes to debate on the current amendment. That following the debate on this amendment, the Senate proceed immediately to a vote on the amendment. That following the resolution of the current amendment, the majority leader and the minority leader be able to control up to 5 amendments each. Amendments be limited to 5 minutes for and 5 minutes against. That upon completion of the amendments, the Senate proceed immediately to a final vote on the bill.
Motion. Pursuant to 15.
Mr. President,
Motion.
move to table the motion.
That's not subject to the motion. Senator from Darlington, purpose do you ask? State your mind.
How long have you been on the bill? Now, perhaps the certification of explanatory remarks. How long have you been on the bill other than when the certification?
The overall debate started at 2:10.
No.
And it's my understanding, yeah. 3:05.
Parliamentary.
Thank you.
Mr. President, how many minutes is currently on this?
There's 17 minutes on
Parliamentary.
Senator from Colleton, what purpose do you ask?
Parliamentary.
State your mind.
Quick question. The response to the senator from Darlington, he requested a time when the senator from Edgefield, the time that we debated this bill, exclusive of when the senator of Edgefield was on the floor, and I had agreed that he left the floor after 3 o'clock. Now,
That started at 2:10. You relinquished the floor at 3:05.
correct. So yeah, we're in agreement. So I wanted to make sure I understood your answer. So when would we have 2 hours, when is our 2 hours to debate the bill? When does that start?
Under the rules of the Senate, that started at 2:10, amount when we first went on to the bill.
And the motion that is on the floor is that they only have 5. We would only have 10 amendments, 10 from both sides.
The motion is that the debate be brought to a close. There will be up to minutes of debate on the current amendment. And following the debate on this amendment, the Senate received and moved the vote on the amendment. Following the resolution of that current amendment, the majority leader and the minority leader will be able to control 5 amendments each. And the amendments will be limited to 5 minutes for and 5 minutes against. And then upon the completion of the amendments, the Senate will proceed immediately to the final vote.
And under Jefferson, does this motion require a second?
Well, this is under the rules of the Senate and does not require second.
I would request a roll call.
The motion is, here's someone,
Roll call.
roll call has been requested. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, more than the recorded number. In a vast world, we're ringing the bell. Reading clerk, please call.
Mr. Adams? Aye. Aye. Mr. Alexander? Aye. Mr. Allen? No. Mr. Bennett? Aye. Mr. Campson? Aye. Mr. Cash? Aye. Mr. Clemmer? Aye. Mr. Corbett? Aye. Mr. Cromer? Aye. Mr. Davis? Not voting Mr. Fanning? No. No. Mr. Gamble? Aye. Mr. Dent? Aye. Mr. Copeland? Aye. Mr. Groom? Aye. Mrs. Hutchinson? Not voting Mr. Harpootlian? No. Mr. Dimber? Aye. Mr. Hutto? No. Mr. Jackson? No. Mr. Kevin Johnson? No. Mr. Michael Johnson? Aye. Mr. Kimball? Aye. Mr. Kempson? No. No. Mr. Loftus? Aye. Mr. Malloy? No. No. Mr. Martin? Aye. Mr. Massey? Aye. Mrs. Matthews? No. Mr. McElveen? No. Mr. McLeod? No. Mr. Peeler? Aye. Mr. Rankin? No. Mr. Rickenbach? Aye. Mr. Rice? Aye. Mr. Sack? No. Mr. Scott? No. Mrs. Sin? No. Mr. Sexler? No. Mrs. Shealy? No. Mr. Stevens? No. Mr. Talley? Aye. Mr. Turner? Aye. Mr. Burton? Aye. Mr. Williams? No. Mr. Young? Mr. Young votes aye.
Have all senators voted? Have all senators voted? Senator Buford votes aye. Senator Gunson votes no. All members vote. Final call. All senators vote. The polls are closed, and the clerk will tabulate. Senate come to order. Senate come to order for a vote of 26 to 20. The motion carries. Recognize the senator from McLeod, from Richmond, Senator McLeod. There is up to an additional 30 minutes of debate on this current amendment. Senator from Richmond.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, you know, there's been a lot, we've talked about a lot in a very limited, very small amount of time today. And I've heard some things that really just bother me. One is that we've got folks who are more interested in protecting a fetus or an embryo that is not even viable, but don't seem to be concerned about protecting the women and the girls who carry that fetus. So the senator from Anderson said that one of the key questions in this debate is, when is a life worthy of legal protection by the state? And if I were able to ask questions from the well, I would ask very simple questions about my life, about the lives of other women and girls across our state. When will we be protected? We just celebrated Mother's Day a couple weeks ago. And this year, you know, it hit me a little differently. I miss my mom every day. So it wasn't just that. Being a mom to two of the most amazing human beings on this planet is one of the greatest joys of my life every day. So it wasn't that either. But after debating and defeating a total abortion ban, I found myself thinking more about the women and girls across our state who will be forced to give birth. If this bill passes, and I'm going to get to the amendment as well, because it made me think about the fact that that will be the case regardless of whether they're mentally, physically, emotionally, or financially able to do that. I thought about how many.
Could we get some order? We cannot hear the Senator from Richmond.
Senator.
I thought about how many more. Thank you. I thought about how many more women and girls lose their lives trying. Like my friend and sorority sister, Denise Humphreys Puff. Also from Anderson County, Senator from Anderson, who died giving birth, leaving her daughter and her husband to raise their children by himself. Like me, Denise was relatively healthy, but had some chronic health conditions that put her at extremely high risk for complications life-threatening complications during her pregnancy.